This is the chilling tale of 6 intrepid friends, united by their passion for urban exploration, who set out on a journey into the heart of a forgotten village shrouded in mystery and darkness. Determined to uncover the secrets hidden within its crumbling walls, they ventured deep into the dense forest, where whispered rumors of strange disappearances and other worldly encounters await. In the heart of a dense forest, where ancient trees loomed like silent sentinels guarding long-forgotten secrets, there lay a village shrouded in darkness. Its name was lost to time. It was whispered about in hushed tones by those who dared to speak of it. For in this village, strange disappearances had plagued its inhabitants for generations, leaving behind nothing but fear and unanswered questions. And it was here, amidst the eerie silence of the forest, that our story begins. Sarah, a fearless urban explorer with a penchant for the macabre, had long been fascinated by tales of the village. Fueled by a desire for adventure and a thirst for knowledge, she had spent months scouring old maps and listening to the whispered rumors of locals, determined to uncover the truth hidden within the shadows. With her trusted companions, Mark, Ryan, Emma, Chris, and Lena, by her side, Sarah embarked on a journey into the heart of the forest. Their footsteps echoed through the dense undergrowth, each one a testament to their determination to uncover the secrets that lay ahead. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew heavy with anticipation. The rustle of leaves and the creaking of branches, the only sounds to break the silence. The forest seemed to come alive around them, its ancient trees bending and swaying as if guiding them toward their destination. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the edge of the village. The sight that greeted them sent a chill down their spines. Buildings stood in various states of decay, their windows like empty eyes staring out into the abyss. But despite the overwhelming sense of foreboding that washed over them, Sarah and her companions pressed on, their curiosity outweighing their fear. As they explored the abandoned houses, they found traces of the village's dark past scattered amongst the ruins. Photographs yellowed with age, letters stained with tears, and belongings left behind in haste told a story of a community torn apart by fear and desperation. Night fell, casting a cloak of darkness over the village, and the explorers decided to camp in the village square. As they sat around the campfire, the flames casting eerie shadows against the crumbling walls, they felt a sense of unease settle over them. It was as if the very air itself was alive with the whispers of the past, warning them to turn back before it was too late. But Sarah, ever the fearless leader, dismissed their fears with a laugh, insisting that they continue their exploration in the morning. And so, as they settled down for the night, little did they know that they were not alone. Suddenly, Chris, feeling stifled by the thick atmosphere of the village, decided to venture out for some fresh air. With a flashlight in hand, he ventured a few yards away from the camp, the darkness swallowing him whole. As he glanced up at the towering trees above, he froze in his tracks. There, perched upon a thick branch, was a figure unlike any he had ever seen before. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and its long, tangled hair billowed in the night breeze. Before Chris could react, the figure leaped from the tree, somersaulting through the air with uncanny grace. But instead of landing on the ground, it landed upside down, clinging to the tree with its feet, its hair cascading down like a curtain of shadows. Chris stumbled backward, his heart pounding in his chest. But before he could make a sound, the darkness consumed him, and he collapsed to the ground in a dead faint. Meanwhile, back at the camp, Sarah and the others grew increasingly worried as the minutes ticked by, and Chris failed to return. When they finally found him lying unconscious on the forest floor, they were horrified by the state he was in. His eyes were wide open, but he was unresponsive, his body frozen in a state of shock. Panic set in as they tried desperately to rouse him from his stupor, but Chris remained limp and unresponsive. It was as if whatever he had seen had robbed him of his ability to speak or move. Fearing the worst, Sarah and the others huddled together, their minds racing with fear and uncertainty. They knew that whatever lurked in the darkness of the village was far more sinister than they had ever imagined, and they feared that Chris's encounter was only the beginning of their nightmare. With trembling hands and racing hearts, they stumbled through the darkness, their footsteps echoing off the crumbling walls of the village. They knew they had to escape, that they had to get as far away from the village as possible before it was too late. Terrified and frantic, Sarah and her companions attempted to call for help, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. The signal was weak, and their calls went unanswered. Chris, still in a state of shock, was growing increasingly unwell, his breathing shallow, and his eyes glazed over. They knew they had to get him to a hospital, and they knew they had to leave the village behind. Quickly, they packed up their belongings, their hands shaking as they hurried to gather their things. But as they made their way towards their cars, their hearts sank at the sight before them. The tires of each vehicle had been punctured, the rubber shredded beyond repair. It was as if someone, or something, had intentionally sabotaged their means of escape. Fear gripped them as they realized they were trapped. Their only option was to wait until morning and hope for help to arrive. But as the night wore on, their fear only grew, as strange footsteps echoed behind them, and the disembodied voice of a woman begged them to stay. With each passing hour, their terror mounted, until finally, as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, they saw a glimmer of hope in the distance, a truck approaching the village. Mike, the first to spot the approaching vehicle, waved frantically, his voice hoarse from calling out for help. The truck driver, a grizzled man with a kind face, pulled over to offer assistance. He listened intently as Sarah and her friends recounted their harrowing ordeal, his expression grave. As they climbed into the back of the truck, grateful for their salvation, the driver shared with them the chilling tale of the forgotten village. He spoke of mysterious deaths and unexplained disappearances, of darkness that had claimed the lives of all who had dared to venture into its depths. With heavy hearts and troubled minds, Sarah and her companions left the village behind, their bodies weary, but their spirits forever changed. And as they drove away, the memory of the forgotten village lingered in their minds, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks in the most unexpected of places.